Light them up.
Roll them. Good morning, everybody. I'm Bill Canada, Custer County Chairman of the Board of Commissioners. Today is Monday, December the 15th, 2025. This is a special meeting we've called for certain purposes. One would be the budget finally and the suppression pond today. So silence your phones if you got them.
Yep.
And let's stand for the pledge.
Please repeat after me. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Let's pray for the invocation right now, real quick. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for all of our blessings, and we ask that you bless this meeting and our of this Board of Custer County Commissioners. Strengthen us wisdom and goodness and patience as we solve the perplexities and problems of today's issues. We ask for your blessing of this great county, and we grant us the grace to ask what thou would have us to do, and that the spirit of wisdom help us see the light as we convene this board to and for the service of our county commissioner, our citizens of this county. In Christ's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
I'm going to put this cap back on so I don't get a sunburn.
I thought you were the divine one with the glow.
Yeah. And a reflection might blind everybody.
At least we're not looking into it.
Okay, this meeting's been called to order. Roll call, Peggy.
Commissioner Kanda?
Here.
Commissioner F?
Present.
Commissioner Vogelsong?
Here.
County Attorney Dan Slater?
Here.
BOCC Administrator Caitlin Woolman?
Here.
And I'm Deputy Clerk Peggy Miller.
Thank you, Peggy.
Very good.
Okay, let's take a roll of everybody that's here, and let's start over here on this side.
Vernon Roth, Director of Finance.
Wendy Rusk, Custer County Citizen.
John Mapes, Custer County IT and GIS Coordinator.
Thank you, John, everybody. And is anybody online yet?
We have Jeremiah Coleman, Reggie Foster, and Rob Klein.
Okay, thanks. Any amendments?
Yes, so we'll start out with the fire suppression pond needs assessment, and then we will go into the public hearing for the 26 budget. And then we will do the resolution 25, which will be 2564, adoption of the 26 budget.
Okay.
And then number 4 will be resolution 2565, appropriating funds. And number 5, the last item, will be resolution 2566, mill levy certification.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I think that's the more appropriate after looking at 21, 22, and some other things.
Yeah.
It is. It was on one of the things I saw earlier. Okay, that's fine. Unfinished business?
No.
Nope. Nothing.
New business. First up is the fire suppression pond needs assessment.
Correct.
And this is for the purpose of accepting the assessment as written, and then we'll discuss that. So with that, I want to bring up a couple things, and then we'll proceed. So this is a process that's been started for some time. We did it actually back in August last year, and then we had to get it redone again because the state gave us the wrong address to send it to. So we got started again in December. And then during that time frame, we had our cartography was changed out, and we had John Mapes come on the job. And I think that was in the time frame of when did you come on, John? June?
It was in May sometime.
May.
May, I believe.
Yeah. And as soon as that was over, in the meantime, I had been talking with the state, wondering why they hadn't responded, what we do next. And that's when they found out they had the wrong address. But anyway, so we then I had a meeting with John on June the 9th to discuss where we were with it and what needed to be done. And actually pulled up, had a meeting with Zana Canella before that and got the statutes. And the process straightened out with her. And then I called the meeting once John was familiar with it, with Wendy and Tate, and they came in on the 12th of June. And we had a very good meeting, I thought. There was 5 of us, 4 of us, Don, Tate, you, Wendy, and me, and you had
Jeremiah was there.
and Jeremiah, and,
I had a volunteer mentoring for OEM,
Right.
just to sit in the meeting to see how
Right.
that functioned.
and the reason I'm bringing this up, this is, it was pointed out to us when we sent in the application, there was really no formal way of letting the state know that the county was wanting to submit the application, so that we used was a sample that we got from the state, and I'm not sure they're using the same form, but we got 2 more following it. And then wanted to step through, make sure we stepped on every item of the whole assessment and what was required by statute. So we did that on the 12th, and then John came on, and thank heavens he was, because not only did he come on, but he also had a surveyor that was his brother in this case, I believe, and it helped actually do a lot of the work without cost to get things straightened out, because we were trying to sort out what was needed and what was not. And Jeremiah was there and contributed significantly, and John took on Section 7. So you want to talk about that, John, a little bit?
Let's see. Section 7 basically went over what the needs were for the maps, and the detail needed to go along with each map. Working with Wendy on that, we finalized all of that last Friday. I had some questions just as to where the information was coming from, for instance, the size of the pond, location of the pond, and who was to determine that. So
The depth.
The depth of the pond, just the details of the pond, and whether or not where were we gathering that information, where were we getting that information from, and that it was from where we legally as a county could accept the information from, or how we could determine that. And that's where I reached out to get the advice of a surveyor and somebody who had a license. And as you mentioned, my brother, free of charge, gave his determination on that, and gave some advice to me as to how we should proceed.
So bottom line was, and I think Wendy also made a call or two in that there wasn't necessary to have it.
A survey done, so no, it definitely clarified some things for
That's
me,
good.
just coming on kind of at the last second as to what we were getting, what I was getting myself into,
Good.
and what we as a county legally needed to do.
And meanwhile, I wanted to congratulate you, Wendy. You guys did a great job on putting together the rest of the package, along with Jeremiah and others. So it looks good, except when we went through it a little bit, to this morning, we gotta make some corrections. The names are not quite right on one was called the Tate Pond, the other one was called the Sloan Pond, or whatever it was. Shawner Lake.
I believe Wendy's already made that and sent out that revision.
Good.
The only other change that I see that needs to be made is we have one map that needs, when I had scanned it in, the bottom edge wasn't tattered, and so I scanned it in upside down. So just in here, we need to rotate the map to where it's oriented correctly on the page.
Okay, so that's great, and we'll get all that done before the 16th, which is tomorrow, and that was the original, what they called a deadline, but in further talking with them, they described it, well, really, that's a goal, because we're just getting our feet out, and things are gonna happen, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter, we're gonna get the needs assessment done. And then the thing that happened in the meantime, I called Zana Canella, and I actually had an email that I had prepared to send her with all the stuff that we've got, because I was complaining about the number of addressees on what's called the SWAP, the Supplementary Water Augmentation Plan, which is Exhibit C. And I said, there's 346 addresses to distribute it to. And I said, do we have to do all of them? And so I had a long talk with her, and then after that, she said yes. and then I had to figure out, okay, they sent me that. It said it's a what do you call it? A whole list of them in a spreadsheet that we can easily copy and paste and blah, blah, blah. Right. So I was waiting for that, waiting for this assessment to be done, and then we would do that. In the meantime, they met and they decided they don't need that many addressees. So the new number is between 100, she said to me yesterday, Friday, that it would be either roughly 150. Well, that doesn't help us. And I said, well, we need it in order to roughly send it. And so, she said, well, don't worry about it. And I said, well, I am. So I called this morning, left a message, because they're not there, of course, right, early, but I'll find out. Meantime, we've got it. And what I want to do today is accept the needs assessment report as prepared with corrections on the spelling. Is there anything that has to be corrected after we approve that assessment, John?
No, and I believe Wendy already sent out the.
I saw one this morning. Has that got that correction, the one from Tate? That said,
Just about 10 minutes ago. I
oh,
sent
another
the
one, 10 minutes. I looked at it
Updated cover sheet.
30 minutes ago.
I looked to see if I could rotate that map from my phone, and I cannot do that, so.
Other than the rotation of that one map.
Oh,
the
really?
map will remain the same, but other than that, we've already got the
Okay, well,
revisions already sent out this morning. Wendy was on top of that.
okay.
One question,
Should've
Bill.
been the first time.
The 150 and the 350, is that everybody down line on water, or is that?
No, that's all of everybody in the whole state that has a dog in a hearing on water rights. Because it affects people you don't understand where in some cases, because rights come up from Twin Lakes down to Kansas. And if somebody saw we're hoarding water in Custer County and we can't augment it out of the Deweese Dam, then they could object.
I just mean,
So everybody has a chance to object, and the process is 140 days once the actual assessment.
Submission?
Yeah, let me pull it up here. Once the application form, they actually do have an official form. It says for office use only, division, water division. But this is the application form. Two things have to be clarified. This is to make sure everybody understands, this is for the county. This is a county requirement for the safety of and well-being of the citizens that are near fire hazard areas, like Wendy is out there. That's what makes this a good one to apply for. But they've got to agree that that's the case. We've made a great case with the fire chief and other people that have gone through this, so I don't doubt that it's going to be approved. But it could, I mean, you never know, somebody might object. But once this is sent in with attachment C, which is a distribution notice of the substitute water supply plan notification list for the water division in which the pond is located is described by statute, and they list the statute. So, and then I'm gonna find out whether I take a picture of the list that we sent it to, or we send them 300 copies, or whatever it is. But that'll be straightened out. And then, so I would recommend that we make a motion to accept this as presented today with corrections that we've mentioned as the needs assessment reports. We're not accepting the application yet, because I'll take that, and then probably ought to authorize the chairman to sign this once it's completed, just so that we've got a record of it. It could be signed by Joe Blow, the commissioner, and that may not work. So maybe somebody challenge whether we had a meeting to do it. So I think it should be done in this meeting. You got a suggested motion, Dan?
I think just a simple motion to approve the
Assessments report.
assessment as presented to the board.
Okay.
I'll second that.
No, I'll make the motion. You can make the motion if you want to.
I can't make a motion.
He can't make the motion.
You already said you were gonna do it, okay.
I was just making this motion. You want to make the motion? Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
All right, I move that we accept the needs assessment report as presented by the Rusk family for the water suppression ponds.
I can second it now?
Yeah?
Okay. I second that.
And the names are Shawner and Tate.
Rusk.
Rusk,
So Rusk
Shawner and Rusk.
Pond ID 1313723, and then Shawner Lake, Pond ID 1313657.
Okay.
So those are the corrections
Okay.
we'll see, and we can approve.
Those are the resolutions.
Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none, I'll call for that vote. All in favor of approving the motion as presented, say aye. Lucas?
Aye.
Kanda, aye.
Vogelsong, aye.
Okay. There, we got it. Okay, any other discussion on this? You good?
I'm totally good. I believe, I will look through our emails, but I believe we had collectively put together a draft application for that, so if that saves
Well,
any
hell,
time.
I did send you, I
I'll-
don't know if you found it, but way back when I
Forward.
sent you the statutes and I sent you this form.
So that whole packet just went line item by line
Yeah.
item and answered those, so I just went off those statutes and answered those.
Yeah, that was how it was, and that was really actually great that they did that for us.
Hopefully, and hopefully the county, as you guys go forward and Jeremiah identifies other ones, you can use that as a
Well, that's what we're
framework
gonna
and a
do.
guideline.
Matter of fact, I think the state's gonna use this as a guideline because,
Well, that happened. No, just kidding.
Custer County blazes the way again.
Yeah.
Okay, with that, we're done with
Good
this.
job, good job, everybody. Thank
Till
you guys for your
tomorrow.
time.
Yeah,
Thank you, Wendy.
So we're
Yeah,
gonna
thank
do
you.
corrections, and then we're gonna do the
yeah, then I will follow through with getting that list and I'll let everybody know and we'll send it in.
Very good.
Appreciate you guys, thank you.
Yep. Okay, so we don't wanna adjourn this meeting. What do we wanna do? Do we adjourn this and open the hearing?
the, public hearing.
That means,
All right, we'll go-
See ya.
bye guys.
Thank you.
Can we go with you?
Yeah.
We go to public.
Okay, so we will convene a public hearing now for discussion of the budget, acceptance of the hearing for adoption of the 2026 budget as well as Resolution 2566 appropriating funds and a resolution on the certifying the mill levy certification.
Good. Fine.
Oh, and this will begin at 9:18 today. So we're open for the hearing now. Okay, Vernon, you're up.
No, well, this is where you ask if there's public comments.
Okay, yeah, wait.
And then we'll close the public hearing after.
Yeah,
Right.
okay. It's been posted, it's been online, you've gotten the budget out. Are there any public comments?
I think this is the first budget meeting I've ever seen where nobody was in the audience.
We're getting boring.
It's also the first budget we've had that really, and I had a nice discussion, this is for the benefit of the public, with Vernon over the weekend, and he's actually researched a lot of the county budgets and looked at all of them. And they're anything from handwritten notes that were on it, really, I'm not kidding, and, or spreadsheets that they
Taped
took
together
pictures of,
spreadsheets.
taped together spreadsheets, and they approved that budget based on that. And we have an actual process where we take money in by, officially acknowledging it, and we move money around officially doing it, and we spend money officially doing it. So, congratulations and thank you, Vernon, for the great work.
Thank you,
And
sir.
you too. Lucas did a great job working with the auditors
Yeah.
and getting us straightened out. All right, no other questions, any comments? Well, with that, I'll close that public hearing.
You want a time to close?
Well, what is it?
9:20.
9:20. Geez,
Did that in 2 minutes.
it's a 2-minute meeting, thank you. Now, let's continue. And that would be the mill levy certification first, right?
No.
Where's one?
Resolution, no.
It's
It's the adoption of the budget.
Oh, there it is,
Adoption,
right.
But it's gonna be 2564.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, over to you, Lucas.
So I think we need to go through a little bit of this budget before we adopt it, but, and then we can make those motions to adopt the budget. But
Okay.
I'll have, yeah, we've done a lot of things, found a lot of things, we're still learning, but we've formalized more of it in our narrative at the beginning, and have added a lot of things. One thing that we found is our emergency services fund is largely, that was a mill levy vote done back in 97 to provide for
I've got
Custer County, emergency dispatch services. And we've been taking OEM funds out of there for I don't know how long. We still don't know how that got set up. I would imagine they just thought, well, Office of Emergency Management, dispatch services, it's all emergency, let's throw it in
I'll
there.
bet that's when
It's not right to use those funds specifically for the OEM. OEM should be out of the 10 fund, or should have their own fund.
they had their own thing.
So we're gonna take general fund money to fund OEM stuff. And the emergency dispatch services is gonna be just that. That will include half of John's wage, because he does GIS services, which are used for dispatch. So we've kinda moved some things around in that fund a little bit. She is still under that fund, cause there was already code set up, but we're just infusing money into, or transferring money from the general fund into the emergency services fund to take care of the OEM.
Makes sense. Comment, Paul?
No, we went over that one.
Okay, what else?
Conservation Trust Fund is looking okay. We probably have been spending a little bit more money than we've been taking in, but, we've
But
got
there's-
some cash reserves to cover those, so that's okay. Tourism's been doing some of the same things, so, but that's okay, they've got the funds in their fund balance. What I'm trying to get to is everything's balanced, and if you need extra money, you come back during the year and ask for it.
We can figure out.
So it's not hidden in the budget. It kind of keeps everybody on this, hey, if things weren't good and you didn't have a cash balance, how would you budget? And we need to stay on that in case things ever get to that. Other things that we've added into the budget is the revenue totals across the board, where we get our revenue from, pie charting it out. We want to add more.
Which is
of
a
that.
first, and this one I think Dominic would appreciate.
Yeah. Pictures are good.
That's a nice pie.
Everybody likes
It's 3D, it's not just a pie, it's a 3D pie.
So we wanna add more stuff like that. We've added, all the wages throughout. As you look through the budget, you can, see where the wages are set. We added a 3%, across the board, other than the elected officials, 3% raise. So that's built into this budget. Basically, the way we are starting to view this is, the way the citizens have voted is to, these are the mill levy caps for property taxes. And we can choose whether we're gonna float them down every year, but they reset at the top, and then we choose what we wanna do with them.
And we gotta remind ourselves, cause we haven't done that in the past much, if we float them down, we gotta put them back, or we're stuck
Right.
with them down. If we want them to go back up without going back to vote with the citizens.
Well, actually, they just reset at the top.
Well, but I thought, but ones that we did, we can, for example, when we moved it that year, we did float them down, and they made sure we knew that if we wanted to play with that, we had to redo it again. What's the difference?
The way we floated the mill levies down, they're a temporary mill levy decrease.
Right,
And so they reset
back to where it was.
back to the voter approved mill levies, yes. And so each year we float it down, which we'll be floating down this year. Each year we float it down is a temporary decrease, and then we'll have to do that again the following year if we choose to float it down.
I'll have to talk, because I know that a couple counties forgot to do it, they got in a sweat where they were worrying about taking it back to the voters to get it set back to where the initial was. So I don't.
For what I understand, they accidentally floated them down permanently,
That's what,
instead of floating them down temporarily.
okay, without saying that to begin with, okay, that makes more sense.
Temporary, we can readjust, but not if it's permanent.
We can make a permanent one if we want. We need to be in trouble. Okay,
So we, from 24 to 25, and then 25 to 26. So 24 to 25, we increased about $6 million in overall assessed valuation. From 25 to 26, we took a pretty big leap up. We went from 160 roughly to 178. So a pretty decent increase in valuation. It doesn't translate to large numbers for us, but built into this budget is a temporary float down of 2 mills. So 20.245 is voter approved levy, and the levy we have in this budget is 18.245. So we had general fund at 8 for quite some time, but we've got we've got a balloon payment coming due in 27. We bought that compactor at landfill needed, makes us a lot more efficient out there for packing down trash, but it was a pretty good hit to the capital improvement fund. So we took another mill out to help transfer some money into the capital improvement to help that fund out and to help us make some of these payments that we need to make, and give us a little more cushion than what we had before. So that's kind of built into this budget as well. I guess, do you want to talk from there, Vernon?
Okay, where would you like to go? As Commissioner F mentioned, we have seen an increase in our valuations. So on page 5 of the budget, we start with the 2024 audited year-end balances, and these numbers on the left-hand side are the numbers that the auditors have calculated as being the year-end balances. And so moving forward from there, we import that into 25. We have those expenses are the expenses as of the middle of November, when basically had to cut it off for calculation purposes. And so moving into 26, we are in a fairly good place and reasonably accurate on the current revenue to expenses numbers there. We have seen an increase we will see an increase in our fund balances from 25 to 26 of approximately $300,000, $260,000 across the board. And so when you look at the fund balances minus taper reserves and obligated funds, we are looking at about a 3 to 4 month spending reserves. The general fund will, in 26, will expend, we're budgeting $7,231,000 worth of expenses. The revenues will be $7,234,000 worth of revenue. And each fund is balanced except for the 55 tourism fund, which there are authorized expenditures going over the revenue line, but there are fund balances to cover those additional expenses.
And the 55 fund is
That is the 55, the tourism fund.
the tourism, that one is.
Yes. And on the lower section of that page, I actually give a definition of each of the funds and what actually resides there. And the logic behind that is that the more money we can spend getting people into the valley, the more revenue that we'll have across the board.
Right. What was the reason that it's not shown in 25? You just,
Say again?
it's blank.
The 56.
Oh, so the 56 fund, so that was my next point. The 56 fund is the new fund that we've set up. It's an internal service fund for our health insurance, and that did not exist in 25.
Didn't exist until last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't exist until you guys created it.
That makes sense.
And so
I like
that's-
what you did, but I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no.
I like what you did on the 55 fund. That's great.
Thank you. It's an interesting process going through to create a new fund and a new service fund. It's been an interesting conversion, and learned a lot about the process, learned a lot about the legal regulations around that whole process. So we're moving into the new year in a good place. On the next page, you'll see the pie chart that Commissioner Epp mentioned. These revenue totals, basically I broke down the entire revenue for the county into certain categories: property taxes, sales taxes, federal sources, and state sources, and broke it out in a visual representation so that everybody can see the real sources of what of the money that we bring in and operate on. Of note would be the grants, about $1 million worth of grants, $1,071,000. Property taxes is the current lion's share, but when you add everything else up, it's actually a pretty small piece of the pie.
Okay, hold it there.
Yes, sir.
Grants are separate, so federal sources and state sources don't include any of the grants. There are other things like pass-through funds for kids council, that kind of thing.
So the pass-throughs are down here at the bottom of the state pass-through, $576,000. When I refer to state sources, that's specifically talking about the HUTF funds. Federal sources are going to be, as outlined in here, the PILT, and they're outlined in this in the next.
So that's
section,
pretty significant,
basically.
actually.
Mhm.
That's between the two of them. You're looking at $8 million.
Well, the total revenue is 13.
Wait a minute, I'm sorry, it go back over. It's $2 million.
Between state and federal, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep. We have come to rely on those funds.
That and grants.
We couldn't operate on property taxes alone. It would be almost
The
impossible.
roads would be even worse.
So in order for, if we didn't get any HTF funds, we'd have to up the mill levy to 10 to even
No,
Can't even do what we're doing.
come close, yeah. So we'd have to go up another 10 mils to 15 mil. So, yeah.
Okay, keep going.
Okay. The next section of the budget basically outlines all of the revenues, shows the different departments, what they bring in, as well as state and federal funding sources. And then when we reach page 26 of the budget, we start into the expenses. And you'll notice on page 26, there is a line labeled transfer out. We are going to be transferring from the general fund $511,000. That is going into the different, excuse me, several different funds. That is going into the 50 fund to cover certain capital expenses. It goes into the 56 fund, the self-insurance fund, to cover health coverage costs until we build up a fund balance there. It's going to the 45 fund, which is the liability and workers' comp insurance funds, to cover certain expenses in that fund, because our liability and workers' comp expenses are increasing every single year. What was it, 27%?
25% on liability alone.
Mm-hmm. So that fund is in need of a little bit of rescue. It's also a transfer into the 60 fund, as Commissioner Epp mentioned. It is going to help offset emergency services, Office of Emergency Management Operations, and transfer into the 65 fund, which is the airport fund, because that fund, has always needed support. It's never been self-sustaining. It does not represent a transfer into the 20 fund, of course, or into the 70 fund, which, thanks to the work of the new DHS director, is going to be in a really good place at the end of this year, because of the state reimbursements and pass-throughs that are going to be happening there. As Commissioner Eck mentioned, you'll notice that in the budget, behind every department that has employees, there's also a commissioner-approved budgeted salary position, with the total salary, for each department, so.
That's great, I like that, Summer.
Well, you know, it's what we used to do, and this is your ability to, this represents your ability to control and set salaries. So, for instance, on page 28, when we look at the salaries, of course, we have the three commissioners, which are set by statute, and then we have the BOCC admin, and this basically sets that salary for the next year. Any salary, as you've just passed in the resolution, any salary changes throughout the year require board approval. That gives you more control over how people are paid and any raises that occur during the year. So that represents the major change. That gets a little long. This is the longest budget. We have 110 pages of budget work here. On the very last page, the 110th page, is the 2026 lease summary, and this outlines the different leases that we have. The commissioners have approved for payment: long-term debt liabilities, the Chattanooga Land Trust for the lies just to the south of us here. Excuse me, Sheriff's Office vehicles, road and bridge graders are listed there, the landfill compactor and the landfill scraper. And so total liabilities that we have incurred at this point in time is $1.676 million. So
27 is gonna be a tough year.
Yeah,
27, we have $360,000 worth of balloon payments, and that is on top of the landfill compactor of 140, the landfill scraper of 70, the land payment of 56,000, and the sheriff's office vehicles totaling approximately $35,000. So 27 will be definitely an interesting year, and that's why we are putting money from the 10 fund into the 50 to in our fiscal responsibility to backfill that fund and make certain we have the money there in the next coming years.
I have a question on the vehicles we need to buy for road and bridge, the water truck and the tractor. Is that included in there?
That's not included in the 50 fund at this time, but when we have the information on how much it's going to cost, I will craft a budget resolution and you can appropriate the sums and we can put that money there.
Thank you.
At this time, the 50 fund is it's a balanced expense to revenue with additional revenue transfer from the 50 fund, or excuse me, from the 10 fund to make certain that we build that cash reserve to make those balloon payments and the big payments in 27.
Thank you.
And once this is approved, I will have it posted within the hour. I printed a copy, but there's no one here to read it.
Dan volunteered to read it.
Oh, okay, excellent.
Yeah.
I've done read it.
Okay, good deal.
Very good, then. All right.
This looks good.
Our cash reserves look okay with road and bridge. So when we start thinking about what roads we really need to chip seal this year, we really need to look at what that cost is and what we want to do. Let's remember though, $1 million in reserves only takes care of
4 months.
a third, 4 months, a third of the year.
Right.
Their payroll alone for a year is almost $1 million, so.
To plow one cycle of the roads in the winter time is $80,000.
Right.
And then our liabilities have increased more than what our cash reserves are in the 50 fund, so we need to be careful that we're watching what's going on there. And we do need to replace and get rid of some of the junk vehicles, passenger vehicles we had.
Yeah.
We need to start thinking about
A couple junk
a
dump trucks
longer
too.
term plan there, so.
Yeah, actually, those two, Vince mentioned those two dump trucks, those international trucks. Some local contractors would like to bid on those, they're in pretty good shape for
And
that.
then, Bill, we also have those two graders that are
Yeah.
big on ours.
Yeah, that's true. Interesting, one of those to fix up. Okay, any other questions? Need to go over anything else? Okay, so if not, let's hear a motion to adopt it. And that would be a move to adopt it.
So I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 25-64. Therefore, be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Custer County, Colorado, that the budget as submitted, amended, and summarized by fund hereby is approved and adopted as a budget of Custer County for the year stated above, and that the budget, so it would be the 26 budget, and that the budget hereby approved and adopted shall be signed by the Board of County Commissioners and made a part of the public records of Custer County.
I'll
Okay,
second,
go ahead, Sam.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, I got a question then, so these are resolutions too, do we have to do the resolution after this, or are we adopting it like it is? We have the two resolutions for the mill levy and the adoption of the budget are separate here.
So the resolution is adopting the budget.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah, this is, we're only doing the budget
The budget,
resolution.
Okay.
After we adopt the budget resolution, then we consider the appropriation
You
resolution.
mentioned,
And then after the appropriation resolution is the mill levy resolution. There
mill
are
levy
three
and
separate
Yeah, it's
resolutions.
Thursday.
Yeah,
No, it's not in there.
You mentioned,
No.
Correct. Do we need a dollar amount?
Mm-mm.
Okay, good.
It's adopting the budget
Okay, so it's the resolution 2565.
for,
25-64.
Mine says mill levy.
Top
well,
one.
we've changed the order and thus we've changed the
Right.
numbers.
Oh, I see.
So it's top one.
So mill, okay, so that's the budget. Okay, this was changed on my agenda here, that the budget was called 2565.
Right, yeah, that was how the budget was originally printed, but
I got you.
Commissioner Evans changed that.
I was
Okay,
looking,
are
I was
we
going by
okay
my
with-
agenda.
Are we okay with the motion and the second?
Yeah, I think we are. That's a discussion. Any other discussion? Okay, I'll call for that vote. All in favor of adopting, resolution 2564 as read? Say aye. Lucas?
Aye.
Paul?
Bogus, aye.
Kanda, aye. Hey, you got a copy or to sign? You want me to keep this one?
I will be
They'll
signing.
have to be reprinted.
They'll have to be
Do that? Yeah, we'll do it.
on, different paper.
Well, there were some changes from when I printed them
Right.
at 8:30 to get
This,
in.
this copy here is an 830 copy?
Correct.
Okay. Even though it has the right
No,
number on it?
Yeah, there's some date changes in the middle of it.
Oh, okay. Good, all right.
This is the budget signature page. You'd like to sign that one?
That'll go in the budget.
That will be published with the
It's in the book.
Not that one. There's just the other two.
Usually I don't do that. I'll mention those.
Yeah, Lucas.
Vernon, thank you for making us boring.
I could make it really interesting if
I
you
mean,
want.
we used to, I tell you,
Please don't.
Blah, 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 is that what
but
you heard?
almost a year ago, we had 20 or 25 people in the audience, and half of them were wanting to ask questions about.
Yeah, they were wanting to nitpick the lines, which we were just letting them do
That's a good sign.
That goes to, what goes with you goes back to him. Back to
Thank you very much.
Vernon. Thank you, Vernon.
Okay, next. Change the number on the other ones, you read it.
Okay, resolution number 25-65 is the appropriating sums of money to the various funds and amounts and for the purposes as set forth below for Custer County, Colorado for the 2026 budget year. whereas it is not only necessary that by law, but also necessary to appropriate the revenues and fund balances provided in the budget to and for the purposes described below, so as not to impair the operations of the county and thereby establishing a limitation on expenditures for the operations of Custer County. And it just lists out which sums of money are going into which funds.
Any corrections on this one we gotta reprint?
Well, the number is different, and then Commissioner App read it correctly, but the version we have says the 2025 budget year.
Right.
In the title.
Yeah, and I see a typo in mine, it's human services line.
And yeah, we fixed that as, or I say Caitlin has fixed that.
Okay,
I sat next to her while she did that.
all right. Yeah,
That's
you
just,
made sure.
There you go.
that's just to reset your eyes on halfway through it, that's all.
Good,
Okay.
got a motion?
I'll read it. I'll do it. I make a motion that we adopt resolution appropriating, excuse me, sums of money to the various funds in the amounts for the purpose of setting forth below for the Custer County, Colorado for the 2026 budget year.
Also-
65.
That's it.
Oh, yes, resolution 25-65.
All right, I'll second that. We adopt resolution 2565. Okay, any discussion? More discussion. We know we're gonna fix it. Okay, I'll call for that. Any public discussion? Anybody out there? Is anybody on?
Yeah,
Still?
we still got 3 people.
Okay. Jeremiah still on? That guy's an animal.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll call for the vote on that one. All in favor of approving resolution 2565, say aye. Paul?
aye.
Lucas?
Aye.
Kandai?
Okay, now we go to 26.
2566. Give her, Peggy.
So 2566 is a resolution levying property taxes for the year 2026 to help defray the costs of government for Custer County, Colorado for the 2026 budget year. Is it property taxes for the year 2025, right? For the
It's the
26 budget year.
2026 budget year.
Correct.
Yes, but it's the 25.
We're levying them for year 2025 for the 2026 budget.
We collect taxes retroactively.
Yeah,
Correct.
correct. Okay,
So the first 2025 is correct, the
Correct.
second one is no.
yep, that's right, okay. I thought so after I read
Up
it.
above is right, the one in the middle here is not. Section 1.
Whereas the 2025 valuation for assessment for Custer County as certified by the county assessor is $177,560,485. Be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Custer County, Colorado, that for the purposes of meeting all expenses of Custer County during the 2026 budget year, there is hereby levied a tax of 18.245 mils upon each dollar of the total valuation for assessment of all taxable property within Custer County for the year 2025. And the mill levy of 18.245 mils is broken out by fund as follows. General Fund, 9 mils. Road and Bridge Fund, 5 mils. Contingent Fund, 0 mils. Human Services Fund, 1.096 mils. Insurance Fund, 1.5 mils. Emergency Services, 1.649 mils. The budget officer is hereby authorized and directed to immediately certify to the county commissioners of Custer County, Colorado, the mill levies of Custer County as herein above determined and set, but as recalculated and is needed upon receipt of the final December certification of values from the assessor in order to comply with any applicable revenue and other budgetary limits.
Okay. I move we adopt 2566, resolution levying property taxes for the year 2025 to help defray the cost of the government for Custer County, Colorado for the 2026 budget year.
No. I'll second that motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion, other discussion? Anything online? Therefore, I'll call for that vote. All in favor of approving resolution 2566, say aye. Lucas.
Aye.
Paul.
Volos on aye.
Kanda, aye.
Takes care of 66, 65, 64.
What do we got left? Nothing? Is that all?
Good, that's all, that's it.
Okay. Okay, that's everything. Any other items?
One for
Anybody
me.
else want to talk about anything? No, nothing from me.
No, I don't have anything.
All right, any public comment? Vernon, you happy?
Yes, indeed, now we can get back to work.
Okay. The real work. Any, online? Before I'll adjourn this meeting at 9:52. We're done.